evening, everybody, and welcome to 2022. It's January 6th of the year 2022, and this is Guitar Town Hall with Dave NESDALL and Ben Coons. How you doing, Ben?
I'm doing pretty good, Dave. Just staying warm. It's that time of year, trying to keep busy because it's that time of year. And if either of us are a little choppy tonight, blame it on, I don't know.
Blame it on my internet, because until about 10 minutes ago, we weren't going to be here because I didn't have internet. So,
pretty much, yeah.
It's storming out here pretty good. We're just starting to get snow. We're going to get about 5 inches of snow through the night, and the internet here is shoddy at best tonight. So please forgive me.
Exactly. It's all good. And the audio is still coming through fine. So just close your eyes and it's your favorite audio podcast, folks. I want to welcome in the chat tonight. We've got Thomas Santiago. Yep, I sang it on this channel too. Keith Campbell. Awesome. Tim Thomas. Awesome. Leo Sofko. Always a pleasure. House of Twang. Lovely Janice Lala. Dan of New Jersey. Great to see you in here, my friend. Guitar Man 45. Papa Blue, Mark Effects, let's see, Randy Crooks, Charles 75N. Wow, quite the crowd already in here. Jeff Puddlester earlier in there. He was first in here.
Very cool. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. And how was everybody's New Year?
Yeah, I assume everybody survived. Hello, Daniel. He's from Englewood.
Right.
Nice.
Papa Blue says David's moving slow, but Ben's okay. Yeah, I know. I'm a bit slow tonight. I'm
okay.
Yeah. It's okay. But hopefully it'll get a little bit better. And if it doesn't, my apologies.
Keith barely survived. Perfect. So he did it the right way.
Very cool. Very cool. So, Ben, how was your New Year, man?
Quiet, just how I like it, Dave. What was that? That was on a Friday night, I guess? Yeah, it was. What did I do? I caught some of Phil McKnight's podcast, and I watched a few videos, and then, I was out like a light, like a rock star by 10:30 at night. So,
Wow. You and I live parallel lives. You know, Desiree was here with her dad, and they stayed up till midnight or a little past, but I think I was asleep at 9:30 or 10 o'clock myself. It was I woke up at like 1 a.m. thinking, what the hell just happened? I just closed my eyes for a second to take a nap. That doesn't work. I just go right to sleep.
Yep. But, hey, Billy Baloney. Great to see you, my friend.
Yeah, how are you? Yeah, you know, when you get to be over 50 years old, you become an old man. I've become an old man.
Hey, Mark. Great to see you, my friend. Mark and I were hanging out all day yesterday.
Yeah.
He was giving me a hand moving a bunch of stuff, as I was telling you off air, Dave. When I was moving all that office furniture, he was the other guy on the other half. So, how's the shoulder, my friend? So yes, I'm wondering, since we're into 2022, any new gear on the horizon people already have their eyes on? I know Ivan has already released a few. You know, they released their variants right away. They're like January, boom. By mid-January, they're already out. Yeah. And they were out like right away. They might have even been out before the first.
Could be. Well, you know, I'll start by saying that although you guys have seen this guitar a couple weeks ago, I had it here. I finally paid it off, so I own it now. This is my '57 reissue Black Beauty custom shop, and this is not the first one that you saw that I put all the parts on. This is the real deal. This is a real '57 Black Beauty. It's custom shop, so it's a new guitar, but this is, you know, all original parts. Everything on it is right from the factory. So, and it's all mahogany like they were in '57. No maple cap. I am in love with this guitar. It just brings. It's louder than God. This guitar. It's crazy.
Beautiful.
Love it.
Billy
Love
Baloney says he's pre-CBS. Awesome.
it. So he's a 64. Born in
Mark's
64.
shoulder's a bit tender. I figured as much, buddy. So, fortunately, we are almost done that whole endeavor. So, yeah.
Well, that's good.
Hey, Warlag. Good to see you, my friend. Any word on the new EVH gear coming out for 2022?
I haven't heard anything other than the Iconic amp. That's it. The Iconic 5150 amp. And I believe it's going to be in black and ivory. I haven't heard any other things that's coming out. But again, the NAMM show is what, in June?
Yep.
So we have time. We have a lot of time before things start to happen.
Exactly. And what is it? Michael B. Michael B made it in here. Keith Campbell heard a rumor, or possibly an innuendo. Gibson / Fender / EVH collab, Masterbuilt 5150 for Summer NAMM.
Yep, I heard the same thing. We'll see what happens. And I heard there'll be a pretty amazing replica of the 5150 guitar. It's probably going to be a 7-tuner, chobby the way it looks at today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I hear. We'll see. Probably 25 grand or more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would imagine it'd be on par with the Frankenstein replica that they did a few years back.
Yeah. Billy Baloney wants to know the weight of this guitar. It's about 8 pounds 2 ounces. It's fairly light for a custom, and it's not weight relieved. Yeah, pretty light for this guitar.
That's light.
Yeah.
With no weight relief, that's a nice light piece of mahogany.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. Hello, Magic Man.
Great to see Magic Man in here. And White Bailey.
Happy New Year to you guys and girls.
Cushman?
Man, what's happening?
Nice. Muddy Waters? Musician's friend had a used Frankie earlier this week for 15 grand.
Well, that was the dealer cost on those guitars. So they are making not 1 penny on it, but they're not losing any money on it.
Mm-hmm.
$15,000 was dealer cost for those guitars when they came out in 2007. But he said it was a used version, a used guitar.
Yeah,
they're probably making a little bit of money on it, but probably not much.
exactly. The new Ibanez Pia. Yes, I saw it. It's supposed to be a gloss black, but it looked almost stealthy in the photo that I saw. I saw one on the Sweetwater website.
So there's yet another one coming out this year?
Yeah, kind of a black and gold thing.
But I thought that was last year. Didn't they do a stealth black last year?
I thought so too. Let's see. I'm just going to quickly look over see if they have a new for 2022.
I know Steve's playing like a blue swirl looking one that was done for him. He just took photos with it. It's gorgeous. It's like a blue and purple swirl. Blue, purple, white kind of type thing.
All right. Why am I not seeing it under? Oh, new gear for 2022. That works. All right. So let's close that. Go over here and I'll click on the old share screen. Share screen. That's the function we're looking for. Over here, select Chrome tab. We'll choose the Ibanez. So this looks nice.
Oh yeah, that does look nice.
With looks like Fishman Fluence pickups.
Yeah.
Okay. So like signature models. Oh,
Okay, so
well, that's new.
the new gem. That's the new gem you're talking about.
Must be. So it's the white on white or the black on black. Ooh.
And which
Oh, that's
model
a
is it?
Gem Junior. Okay.
Gem Junior. Okay. Yeah, it's a Gem Junior. And I think they have a new Andy Timmons,
Yeah.
which was the Sunburst guitar.
Yeah. How do we
That's
go
an
back
Andy
to
Timmons.
that now?
It's an Andy Timmons AZ model with a humbucker in the bridge.
Right here. Come on, behave. I'm clicking on you. Wait, all of a sudden I got a pop-up blocker? Look what's going on here. Nope, just lack of bandwidth. Oh, and it's got the vintage style saddles too. Okay. Whoops. Come on. Let's bring that down. There we go. Oh, yeah. That looks like it might be lightly roasted too.
Yeah, that's roasted.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Now is that an AZ 100 or an AZ 10?
I think it said ATZ or ATZ. Let's see the specs. Yeah. Next to ATZ, roasted maple, older body. Nice. It's all in metric, and no, I can't convert metric to imperial on the fly. Wilkinson bridge, nice. (10 through 46s). Graph Tech nut, sure.
Yeah, that's all the stuff that he uses.
And then it's got your 1001 wiring options, because that's how Ibanez rolls, which we like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I think these, Dave, are in fact neck throughs.
Oh, how cool! Wow, that middle one is gorgeous.
Well, we'll look at the middle one then. I'm not sure how I feel about the block inlays.
It's very 70s. The block inlays, they did that in the 70s.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah. Let's see if we got a shot. Yeah,
it's very old BC Rich like.
Yeah. That's pretty sweet. Here, I'll just come over here. Oh, hey, Quentin, aka Pops, T. Ricky. I should check out the chat here.
45 people eyeballing us right now.
Looks like old carvings. Sure. They got the one with the Fishman Fluence, like on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
The various variants stuff.
Cool guitar.
This one here.
No, they're all pretty cool looking. Lots of premium. So that's an inexpensive version of the Prestige.
It's too bad that the burl doesn't go over the cutaway here. They do a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
But I get it too. Yeah, those are all pretty damn sweet. Oh yeah. How about that AZ right there in the middle?
Yeah, that's nice. I kind of like the baby blue. I like the kind of looks like a vintage Strat looking thing.
Yeah, that's classy. That's classy.
I like that.
Your S series. Your ARs in a nice blue. Yeah, getting your jazz boxes. Ooh, signature model. George Bent's signature. Looks like went with the mini hums. All right, Ibanez, you're definitely first out of the box. These are nice. I like these. They play really nice, and for the money.
Yeah.
I don't know what they are US. I think they're still under 700 Canadian. And then we got your basses. Well, look at that. A Mike D'Antonio signature bass, in fact.
Wow. I don't even know who that is, but that's cool.
I don't know either, but that's cool. exactly. Oh, those look complicated, and that's way more than I need in a bass. They're, I don't know, almost Strandberg-like.
Right. Yep. I like the SRs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got an SR over here. I've always liked the SRs.
Always like those. And man, that green one, wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very nice. That's a cool body shape.
The BTB, yeah.
I'm not getting into the fan fret thing, but that's cool. And then we get into some flap tops. Why not? Ooh, I kind of like that inlay. Like it, it's something, but it's not over the top. Sweet. All right. Well, there we go. It's the Ibanez 2022 models, available at your local dealerships. Take one out for a test drive.
Very cool.
Oh, I will not play a multi-scale 6-string bass. I can barely play a normal scale 4-string bass.
Right. T. Ricky says, did I see Sweetwater had some G&L ASAT style guitars on sale, $600 off a 2K list? Beats me. I really don't know.
Quite possible.
I don't know that would be an American-made guitar. I think that's probably the import.
Probably one of their tributes, which, hey, they're great guitars. I was talking about them the other night. They remind me a lot of Reverend in the fact that they're built in Korea, but all the QA's still done in America before they go out the door. And that's what Reverend does. All the final stuff gets done in Toledo, and similar with the tribute series because, as you know, G&L, not a lot of employees there. It's a small company.
G&L is a custom shop because they make everything in-house. It's done on the old Fender machines. It's done by a person, and a person builds your guitar.
Yep. And if that person's not building a guitar, chances are, hey, there's a skid of tributes there. Can you just check them out? Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So every time someone says, how do you compare a G&L to like an American Standard Strat, or I guess what's it called now, an American
Professional.
American Professional? You can't, because the American Professional is just a CNC made guitar, whereas the G&L is handmade.
Yep.
And it's a comparable price.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure how they make money.
The only difference is resale value. G&Ls are not going to sell as easily as a harder sell than a Fender, because it doesn't say Fender on the headstock.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Wayne.
What's up, Wayne? Yeah, actually, I'll grab my SR. Since Michael B mentioned he had an SR.
Warlog, I agree with you. G&Ls do blow away just regular. Oh, that is nice. That's a cool guitar.
Yeah, it's got the 4-band EQ in it. Very narrow neck, very narrow, jazz bassy type situation. And then you got your variety of pickups, and and it's stock. Excuse me.
I blocked the wrong guy here. Muddy, I'm so sorry. How do I get him back?
Take care of the other.
Can you get Muddy for me? Can you get him back?
I shall see if I can do such a thing. Oh, apparently Terry's here. Because Terry took care of all of it before he even said hello. Like the moderator to the stars that he is. Thanks, Terry.
Thank you, Terry. Terry, if you can get Muddy H2O back.
He did. Already taken care of. That's what I'm saying. He's the man. He is the man.
Sorry about that, Muddy. The chat's moving so fast, and I blocked the wrong person.
Been there, done that. There we go.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
Paul has 5 G&L ASATs and they're
Is
all
that's
amazing.
probably part of his count of like, I don't know, he's up to like 36 tellies now or something crazy. I don't know what it is.
Money, again, I apologize for blocking you. The chat's moving so fast that I blocked you instead of the guy on top of you. Which the guy on top of you was a bot.
Like that, yeah, the guy's internet starts working. That could be because the internet's lagging too, that your chat could be sporadic.
It could be.
That's what I'd blame it on.
So I'm on a quest for yet another guitar. And I think I want either a Firebird 1 or a Firebird 5.
Well, you do that. I have nothing to say about Firebirds. I can't play them myself.
I love those things.
They're too offset for me. I find I strum behind the bridge half the time.
I understand. Totally get it. They are an acquired taste.
Yep.
And,
although I should try one standing up more. See if it moves.
My buddy Andy Aladort has an original 64.
Oh, wow.
And a Sunburst, and it is to die for. He had gotten it refretted years back and doesn't play it much, so it still has all its frets. Has a vibrola on it, which it should. And just what a great guitar. Except like an original one now is, $25,000. So a custom shop one is about $4,500. And I'm trying to decide what guitars I'm going to sell. They are going to have Floyd Roses on them. If I sell any guitar I sell, will have Floyd Roses on them, and may say the word Ibanez on them. So I got to sell a couple guitars to get a Firebird. But I think I'm going to do it. Just deciding.
Hey, we got Guitar Samurai 1 in the chat. Good to see you. And Keith likes the shirt. Yeah, it's actually a t-shirt over a long sleeve tee, but thank you. Yeah. Gotta love the boys at Flipside. They do have a sense of humor.
Yes. Nice shirt, by the way. And I'm wearing one of my Christmas gifts. So
I just love wearing this in the grocery store because people are offended and then they don't know why they're offended.
Guitar Man 45 said he got a Gibson Explorer a few months back.
Nice.
It took him a while to get it used, to get used to it though. Wow.
Good to see you're in good shape there, Sawa. That's crazy. Wow, there's another one. Terry, get him. The bots are out for the last 3 weeks.
Here's a great question. Now, Matcha Man says, what's the advantages of a handmade guitar over a CNC made guitar? Seems like the differences would be in your head, but I don't know. Well, a CNC made guitar is going to be, now this is my opinion, and a lot of people have the same opinion, but some people don't. Some people think, well, I'd rather have a CNC made guitar because they're pretty consistent. Everyone's going to feel pretty much the same. Now, when you get a handmade guitar, you may get a dog. You just don't buy that one. But usually, when you have one set of hands making your guitar, think of it this way. Stradivariuses, they were made by one guy. Stradivari. They were made by one guy, and they are, they're priceless now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, they were made in the 1800s, early 1900s, but same thing goes for, even if it's a new guitar, 60, 70 years down the line, you have a handmade American guitar, it's going to be worth something.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's going to be worth a lot more than just your off-the-rack CNC-made, American standard Stratocaster. Not saying that's a bad guitar. They're great guitars. They're workhorse guitars.
Mm-hmm.
But, as far as collectability, it's not the same.
Right. Shout out Hip Metalworks, Absolute Mayhem. Who else do I see jump in here? Corey's Garden. Nice. Yeah, tonally, no different. Feel, possibly different. Because, as Dave says, especially when guys are shaping necks completely by hand, the CNC stuff does get some finish sanding, but if you're doing the complete job by hand, necks end up different shapes, and it's like you have to find one that you like. It's like trying on broken in shoes as opposed to trying on stiff assembly in the line shoes.
Yes.
In many ways. That's what I'm gonna. Yeah, it's like broken in shoes. It's a little more comfortable, I think. And that could just be in my head. Probably is, but I have to live with my head. So
yeah. Christopher Live Stoa says, "Hey fellas, lucky to be here tonight. A guy just slammed into me on I-69 in Michigan going 80. His Ford truck flipped. No injuries, just a wrecked Impala." And well, I'm so happy you're here. Happy you're not hurt. And thank God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's crazy. Like finding a good wife. Exactly, Guitar Man. Sure. And I will say the latest gen, I was talking on a hangout not too long ago, the latest gen CNC machines are getting ridiculous. Because they're getting into within tolerances of metal on wood. So, what used to be 100th of an inch, then 1,000th of an inch, now it's a 10,000th of an inch they can get within. That it's just nuts. That literally, you just have to knock it down with a bit of 600 grit and you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Brian.
Bryce says, "Do you have to remove the D-tune to intonate the low E string?" No, you don't.
Nope. Good question, though. I was going to say, I've done it without, so.
Yeah. So
that time I had the bright idea to completely tear apart a Floyd Rose. I don't know what I was thinking.
Wait, what did you just say?
I said, yeah, it's that time I decided to completely tear apart a Floyd Rose drum system, like write down every part, and I ultrasonicked it all before I put it all back together. It was when I was doing all the Epicutone upgrades on my Kramer and putting it back together. Let's just say our friend Adam Reaver got a few texts and phone calls.
Wow. Warlog says, "Dave, a D-tuner will fit on an original Edge 1 bridge, correct?" It probably will, but all those bridges are floating. There's none that are going to sit on top of the body. So there's no reason to have a D-tuner on it.
Unless you have a trim stop, at least.
Yeah, but even so, I don't think you can put a trim stop on those because I think the blocks are too short. I think, and don't quote me on that, but I think the blocks are only 32 millimeters. So I don't think it'll work. We try it, but I don't know that it'll work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ask Adam at FU-Tone.
He'd know.
Then again, maybe he'll put a bigger block on it for you. He may have blocks for Edge systems too.
I wouldn't doubt it. If he's got blocks for even like fulcrum fender trims, he would probably have them for edges. Just guessing.
I would think. I'm willing to bet.
Yeah.
So again, anyone else get anything cool for the New Year's? Anyone get anything cool for Christmas?
Lusting after, perhaps?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I'll show it off because I'm speaking of lusting. I showed it off on my show on Monday, but not everybody that's here watches me on my channel, and that's cool. The latest iteration from Reno Finn Custom Guitars, the manufacturer of my signature guitar. This one has been dubbed Purple Rain. So, 10-inch radius on unfinished maple neck, stainless steel frets, Grover locking tuners, my signature boa constrictor P90s. What else? 4-way switch, It's not on that photo. It doesn't have it, but it does come with a Tessie switch between the volume and tone pots. And yeah, that's the latest variant, the Purple Rain Edition by Reno Fink Custom Guitars, which I'll have a demo on in a couple of months. What's up, Tom? See, Tom went through.
Oh, Tom, take care of yourself, man. COVID sucks. Magic Man says he's got a 2-rock on the way in a trade. Got a Kiesel in the oven from some new and some new Killy pedals. Man, that's cool.
Yeah, he was able to trade a orange something like Mark III, Rockerver Mark III, like 100-watt, we'll say, straight up for a 2-rock Cascade 50-watt, which is kind of their Fender amp. And he's like, should I pull that off? I'm like, yes, because you can pick up an orange secondhand pretty much any day of the week. You can't pick up a 2-rock any day of the week.
No. Leo Safko says he got a USA Wolfgang and Ivory.
Nice. Cool. All right, Tom, you're on the mend then. He tested negative on January 2nd. Awesome. I forgot to ask him on Monday night how he was. Rockerverb Mark III 100 for a 2-rock Crystal 50. That's what I see. I remember that. Don't remember my own stuff, but I remember that. Well, for 1,700 Canadian, just saying. I think we worked it out. It's a little over 1,300 US for that guitar.
Nice.
And that's handmade.
Billy Baloney says he's gassing for a P90 guitar. That Junior right there, that TV Junior, I just pulled it off that wall today for the first time in probably 3 months. Still perfectly in tune. The best thing about those guitars is when you turn the volume down to about 6 or 7, they have this. They sound like an acoustic guitar. They ring like a real good acoustic guitar, crystal clear. Just the sound blooms, and then as you turn the volume up, of course, it becomes raunchy and probably the best rock sound you've ever heard in your life. But yes, if you're looking for a P90 guitar, go get one.
Mm-hmm.
One P90. 2 P90s don't necessarily sound the same as one P90, but those juniors, that old Junior right there, sounds ridiculous. It's great. I recommend going to get a Junior.
I do too. Saw here Charles 75N says he's got an S1 switch on the way for his 4-way switch telly because he needs all the wiring options apparently. Nope. Warlag got a MXR custom audio wah for Christmas and a Strymon timeline. Today he got an Origin Effects RD hot rod pedal, effing sweet OD pedal. Awesome.
Nice.
That is awesome.
So, Tom, are you feeling any better now, or are you still knee deep in COVID?
I'd imagine he must be doing better now. He did pretty good Monday night, but by the end of the show, he was pretty beat. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
He also wasn't sober, but we won't get into that. It's just because it can be done, Charles says. Of course. Heart valve issues.
Well, I'll be praying for you, Tom. Papa Blue has a question. What do you guys base your guitar purchases on? Go ahead, Ben. You go first.
Spite. No. No, a lot of it would be biggest thing is bang for the buck. How much guitar can I get for X amount of dollars to spend? Because I have quite a few guitars already. I'm fortunate in that respect, so I can be a little picky, but there is something about if I just come across a really sweetheart of a deal, those suckers generally come home with me. Just because I used to call it when I go to the pawn shops, I rescued this from the pound. you know, I have no need for, say, a fourth Les Paul, but why not? I was knee deep in Epiphone Les Pauls for a while.
Right. With me, I just find a way to get what I want. I don't look for the best bang for the buck. I don't look for um, what's the cheapest way I can get something, or if there's something I want, I figure out a way to get it. That's just the way it is.
And I'll say with you, Dave, too, it's not like you just decide, like, oh, I want a Les Paul. Like, you want a specific Les Paul, and then you find a specific guitar at that. Because I know you'll say, hey, I found this I'm looking at, and I was like, okay, so you're looking around for a while? No, like, that's the guitar. I want that guitar right there, and I'll make it happen. And that happens.
And I know it sounds pompous the way I'm saying it, and I apologize for that. Because I don't have the money. I know it looks like I'm wealthy because of all this crap. This is over 40 years of horse trading.
Exactly.
So it's smoke and mirrors, really. I live in an apartment. It's a house, but my mom owns the house, and I pay rent. And all of this stuff that I have, even though it looks like I buy every week, I trade what I don't use, and I get something new. And blah, blah, blah. Or if I have a couple extra dollars, I'll buy it. But the thing is, I've been doing this for over 40 years of my life. So I've been trading up to get better stuff. 5 years ago, my room looked way different. Guitars looked way different than what you see here now.
Dude, 5 months ago, it looked way different.
Yeah. So I am constantly finding better guitars than what I own and trading stuff that I don't use, that I don't like anymore, trade bait to get it.
Sure.
Sometimes it bites me in the ass because I end up being like, oh, I wish I never got rid of that. But, still what I got is, I like to say I use what I have. So when I get something, it's because I want to use it, not because I want to.
And judge it by your collection versus mine, and I've been flipping gear for 30 years. Man, I'm going to have one killer collection in about 10 years. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Christopher Live So says Neil Daly builds great guitars. He does. He does build great guitars, and they're affordable. He's the guy that say you want one of my guitars, one of my Van Halens, but you can't afford $3,000 or $3,500. You go to Neil Daly and he'll build you one for, $1,200-$1,300 with some, less than high-end parts. And he gets that clientele because people not necessarily want to have high-end replicas, but they want to have a piece of Eddie. So he has that niche, and I respect him 100% for that.
Sure.
Me personally, I can't do that. If I make a replica, it's going to be an exact replica. With
Dave, you're making the American Strat. Neil's making the made in Mexico Strat.
Yeah, basically.
Just as good, just slightly different.
But his guitars look fantastic.
Don't
get me wrong. I'm not putting him down. I am commending him because he's busy. He makes a good product, and he caters to a clientele that doesn't have pockets lined with hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Exactly. Tom was mentioning he's been flipping gear for 30 years, and now he's up into the 40-50K range. And again, I talk to Tom on a regular basis away from YouTube, and I will say, similar to me, when he sees a deal on something, he'll pick it up, or he just waits, until he finds the right price on the right piece of gear for him. What's up, Bozique?
Hey, Bozique, how are you? Yeah, you're late, but you're good.
David Scher wasn't. He was later than you, Bozique. See, he typed it after you. So there you go.
Oh,
yeah.
Brian the Sign Guy, thank you for the love on my 5150 guitar. Appreciate it. It is a good one, and it's a lot of fun to show off. So it plays and sounds amazing as well.
Yeah, I will say Tom is that guy that his life still revolves around gear quite a bit, like when we were much younger in life. And he is like me, wear cheap clothes, don't care. It's all about the gear. What's up, Larry's Gear?
Larry's Gear, yes, I do. Me and my partner have been building these things for over 20 years. We make exact replicas, uh, but it's all high-end parts. And yeah, they're about 3,000 to 3,500. It's about 6 months to build. Got to give me half up front as a deposit, and you're all set. I don't generally put that on. I don't generally put that all on social media, but today, what the hell?
Yeah, go to the guitarwhisperer.guru to find out more.
That's right.
Happy New Year to you as well, Buzik.
Yes, Happy New Year, Buzik.
Yeah, I never understood that, Terry. Like, people get ticked off. You make a trade. Well, it's not their gear. Yeah, you do it. It's your gear. Do what you want with it. That's the way I see it. It's like if someone's like, hey, Dave, I just bought this custom shop R9 that looks beautiful. I'm going to relic the hell out of it. I'm like, go for it, because that's one less mint one in the market for the rest of the collectors.
Yeah. Chris, thanks anyway. I appreciate it. I don't need any 71D quarters. I find them as I build a guitar. I just don't need to pile up on stuff. You know, it takes, like I said, 6 months to build a Frankenstein, depending on how long it takes to get the body and neck from wherever I'm getting it from. So when I do, and I have a few already, we're in the midst of finishing up a couple of builds right now. But as I get the orders, that's when I look for them. But if I do need one when the time comes, I'll hit you up. I appreciate it.
Everybody's saying, hey, yeah, black t-shirts and jeans are the uniform of musicians. Agreed.
Yep. That's what I used to wear when I gigged every night. Blue jeans and a black t-shirt.
Yeah.
And usually some sort of turquoise necklace.
I would go usually a sleeveless black shirt, or if I was playing mellower stuff, I always went the Bryan Adams route, which was always, he said, wear a white t-shirt on stage with jeans because you would always stand out under the lights. And I'm, all right. So I started wearing white shirts on stage, and I stood out because I was the guy in the white shirt.
Mm-hmm. Muddy H2O said he would love a Frankie, but just can't do Floyd's. So you do the 79 version or the 78 version. Do a black and white. It didn't have a Floyd on it. It had a fender trim. And in 79, when he painted it red, it still had a fender trim on it. Mm-hmm. So have someone make that version for you. Be happy to do it. It's just going to cost money. Warlog says, Dave, say if Canadian was ever interested in getting one of these Frankie builds, would you ship to Canada as long as they paid? Of course I would. Absolutely. You pay the shipping. Be happy to send it to you. Paul Fuchs wants to know what EVH guitar have I made the most replicas of? Well, it's going to be either the 5150 or the Frankenstein. Those two are probably the 5150. We make more of those than anything.
Right.
But Frankensteins, we've probably done 30 or 40 of those in the last five years. You know,
What's up, Jay?
We make a lot of them. Hey, Jay.
And you're probably right, Jay. Eventually. That's how Dave knows he's really nailed it when the cease and desist arrives. They're like, okay, that's too close.
I'm not going to get a cease and desist because, honestly, I don't really put it out there. Yeah. Yes, it's out there tonight, but who the hell's going to watch this video? You know?
Again, we welcomed him to watch. That's the day we made it, when they bring up the cease and the desist. Right. You know, I'm waiting for, Gibson to just call me up when they stop talking about our products. What? I didn't say anything bad. We don't care. We don't want you talking about us.
Yep.
Yeah, you do, Warlock.
Warlock, think about it. I'm happy to do it. Tell me what version of what guitar you want. We'll write up a little contract, and we'll figure out what pickup you want, the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah, like
we do it right.
what era you want it from.
Yeah.
Dave's got a catalog of photos that they can go from for the specs for the various tours.
Oh,
I've seen it. It's insane.
Yeah. We have everything guaranteed. It's a little bit of a wait, but what we do is we send you a picture. Like when we get body and neck, we'll send you a picture of your body and neck. When we start painting it, we send you pictures of where we're at. As we're building it, we'll send you pictures until it's done. Then we'll send you a picture of the completed product. I keep it here for a couple days just to make sure it wants to be a guitar, so that when you get it and it's all crazy out of tune and great, and you don't go, hey, you built me a lemon. We make sure it's perfect before it leaves here. So it gets built. I play it for a day or two to make sure it wants to stay in tune and become a guitar. Then I send it to you. So you will not be unhappy.
Got Kurt 5150 in the house.
Your pocketbook may be a little unhappy, but then when you see the guitar, you'll forget about that.
Charlie S in the house. Excuse me.
Part 5150's here. Hey, man.
And yes, for you guys joining in, Dave's got like nature happening outside at his place, so his bandwidth is not so wide. It's more of a band narrow.
Yeah, I'm fatter than my bandwidth right now.
His bandwidth is lacking girth.
It's terrible. It's terrible. Yes, we almost didn't have a show tonight. Bozique wants to have a 5150 guitar without a Floyd.
Sure.
We could do that too, Bozique, if you ever want to pay that money.
Do a 5150 replica and do basically not block it, but like a hardtail Strat, but it looks like a Floyd Trim.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That or non fine tuning Floyd Rose with locking tuners.
Yeah. That'd be cool. What's up, Forrest? Welcome.
Hey, Forrest.
Wow, Kurt's had a foot of snow over the last 24 hours.
That's insane. That's insane.
Magic Man likes Sacramento. No snow.
Yeah, like I said, we're gonna have 5 or 6 inches by tomorrow morning. Yes, Terry, it makes it a 50-49. Absolutely.
I'm just curious myself. What's the weather going to be like here tomorrow? Because usually I get the crap the day before Dave gets the crap. Oh, it's supposed to start snowing in 11 minutes. Perfect. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. It's like, do I have to go anywhere tomorrow? Yes. I got to grocery shopping tomorrow. The worst part is after you grocery shop, you just don't feel like cooking.
Yeah, it's always the way. It's funny because I cleaned the kitchen today and put all the pots in the oven. That's where we put all of our pots and pans. And then decided, you know what? I don't want to cook. So we just went to Subway.
Sure. Yeah, I know I have some leftovers tonight that I could give Dad tomorrow. So usually, go grocery. I'll pick up a frozen pizza or something, and I'll just make that. He doesn't like them. It's good enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not that bad, Bozique, thankfully.
That's crazy. So, guys and girls, just to give you a little heads up, next Thursday, we're going to have Chris Locke from Locke Custom Guitars, and we're going to have Donnie Ward, who works with Chris Locke, and they have come out with this new body and neck for the 5150 guitar, which is probably the most accurate I've ever seen in my life. They did a whole bunch of forensic research and they are going to show us the new version of the body woods and the neck that they're making for whoever wants to buy a 5150 body and neck for their 5150 builds. And they'll show us some other stuff that they're doing. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk guitar woods and guitar building. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you like Van Halen and you love the 5150 guitar, you got to tune into next Thursday.
Definitely. Yeah. Questions on stuff like that, we can cover all that stuff too. That's the great thing. All bases covered next week. Except for me. I'll just ask questions.
Well, even me, I'll have to ask some questions too.
It's not an MXR knob. It's a Jazzmaster knob.
That's a jazz bass knob, correct?
Jazz bass. That's it. See, I was close.
Jazz bass and Jazz Masters. Well, no, that's not true. It's a jazz bass knob because Jazz Masters have Strat knobs on them.
Right. Kurt's looking forward to the show.
Yeah, Kurt, check it out.
Blinded by the chat.
Check it out.
Excuse me. He says he'll have his reminder set. Awesome. Cool. Bride sign guy's looking forward to it. Warlag's just pumped. Some would say stoked as a fellow Canadian. I'll say he's stoked. Yep.
Yep.
Bring popcorn. I may just do that. Sometimes I get the munchies during a show.
Warlock, if for any time you ever wanted a 5150 guitar, now's the time because this new body and neck is it. It really is it. So what they used for the body, they bought a 1982 Kramer Pacer special body that they digitally, I guess they did a 3D scan of it. And that's how they're making their bodies. So the body is absolutely perfect.
Hey, we got Insomniac Liquid Charlie in the house.
Hey, Charlie.
Great to see you.
How are you, buddy? Having a hard time sleeping, are we? We're probably late over in the UK.
Yeah, it's going on 2 a.m.
Yes, please put your best thumb up for us.
Charlie never sleeps.
Bodie says he bought a clone this week. Way
Cool.
Huge conspiracy theory pedal. After messing it for 2 days, he finally likes the transparent overdrive. Very cool.
Nice. They do a thing. Clones do a thing.
Yep, they do. Yep. I love my Tumnus pedal. My Tumnus is a great clone. Tumnus Deluxe.
Yeah, I'm hoping not to revisit that rabbit hole this year. I swear every 18 months I end up buying half a dozen clones just for, I like clones again. I never stopped liking them. It's just you revisit it and yeah.
I know.
What's everyone's favorite tube screamer? Magic Man asks.
The Duelist pedal. That's mine. Yeah, because I don't think a Nobles is a tube screamer. It's its own thing.
No.
But the Duelist is mine. It's probably got the best tube screamer on it that I've ever heard.
I'm going to go with the Demon because they're blatant about it. Like they say right on it, it's a TS 808 and TS9 in it.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Who makes that?
A Demon. They're fairly affordable. I can't remember. It's made by someone else. Somebody in the chat will know. If Gear Junkie 35's lurking around, he'd know. They make a couple of them, I think.
Bill Baloney, yes, I owned a Klon for a long time, a silver Klon, and it was a cool pedal. Don't get me wrong, it was cool. But before they got really, really expensive, like I sold mine in the very beginning when they started to go up. I bought mine for $200 and I sold mine for $1,800. And I was like, oh my God, I'm selling now while I can, not thinking that they'd go up to $9,000 or $10,000.
Yeah, right.
But when they got to be like, well, you can sell one for 1,500, I sold mine and I thought I made a deal. I got a deal.
Sure.
I thought I was doing great. Little did I know I should have kept it for a couple more years and could have sold it for $9,000 or $10,000. But yeah, I owned one, and they're cool. They don't really have a lot of gain. They're
No.
really clean boosts with a little hair on them. They're very mid-rangey. They do a thing, and they do sound cool. But I tell you what, I like the clones a little bit better than the original because usually when people make a clone, they put a little more gain structure in it.
Yeah, there's more, whatever it is, because it's their take, right? More gain or more treble versatility, or like the hell is it called? The latest version of the Vermin that I have from Lawrence, it's got an added bass control.
Right.
No, wait, it's the Embers. That's it. The Embers.
Yeah, the Embers, yeah. And his pedal, his clone is ridiculous. Yeah. It's so good. I hear a little dog running around. There she is. Where is she? She's not coming. She's running around in the background. Yep, going out. She'll get lost in the snow.
Yeah, tube screamers like clones, lots of clones out there, lots of options.
Yeah, I revisited my my Ethos pedal today, which is a train wreck. They just started making them again. Mine is a version 1, which is really the one you want. They're a little more expensive. They're like $400, $500 if you can find them. The version 2, it sounds good, but it doesn't sound good as the version 1 in my opinion. If you've ever heard a Trainwreck amplifier, it sounds just like it. It really, you close your eyes, man, you think you're playing through a train wreck.
Nice.
Mark says, quick question for Dave. What is the most favorite guitar you own and why? Boy, I have a few that I really, really love, and it differs day by day. Right now, it's this Black Beauty. I have a 59 custom shop Telly back there that I play every day. I play my Burst. I play that Junior every day. I play my 2 Strats. I play that 335 up there, right there. That Ibanez Destroyer. Everything you see on that wall, basically, I play almost every day. And all those Fenders back there. But right now, if you would to say, Dave, you could only take one guitar with you as of today, it would be this one. Other than the Burst. I mean, the Burst is a given. That's going with me no matter what. But this, as of today, is my favorite guitar right now.
Mm-hmm.
But this one and that first Telly in that rack right there.
What's up, Layla's Guitar Daddy?
Hey, Layla. Bozique says, David, there are 2 versions that I have. Have a chassis that looks exactly like a real Klon. One is a Seriatone Centura. I forget the name of the other one. It's exactly the same chassis. Potential lawsuit? I don't think so, because I've seen them out for quite a while, and I haven't heard about any lawsuits yet. And I kind of figured if Klon was going to sue someone, they would have done it already.
Mm-hmm. Could be the patent might have run out on the Klon.
It may have run out. It may have. Keith, Dave's got to go getting into his playing time.
We're interrupting your playing time, Dave, by doing this pesky internet show, I guess.
Oh, I don't think so. I'm enjoying
because you have enough guitars and there's only so many hours in the day.
Well, you got to realize that other than dialysis, I'm home. So I go to dialysis 3 times a week, 8:30 to about 12:30. Come home, let the dogs out, feed them if they didn't eat. And I'm home the rest of the day unless I go out to a music store or a doctor. So I play guitar all day.
Yeah.
Or I'm sitting with a guitar all day. I don't know how much playing I'm doing because I can't really do much. I can't do much right now. But I'm strumming chords all day. You know, I'm playing guitar. I'm holding them all day, tuning them every day, tuning my guitars, setting them up from the weather change. Some of those guitars that are sitting on the wall, the necks have done this. That 335, I had to do the truss rod today. The SG right there, that's on the bottom, had to do that truss rod today. But these are guitars that, they're thin necks, and it happens. I've got plenty of room on the truss rods to work with. So
sure.
I also just put a set of 11s on that 335. So from 10 to 11s, it makes
a little extra,
a little more torque. So that neck moved a bit. So every once in a while you got to do a neck tweaking. Magic Man says, have I tried using a thumb pick? Yes, I have. There's not enough nub to put a thumb pick on here. You put a thumb pick on and hit a string, and the thumb pick comes right off. So I need to really think about what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to invest in a prosthetic. Once this finger heals, which it is on its way of healing, once this one heals, I'll go and look into prosthetics, and I'll be able to play again. I'm not really worried about it. That's why I'm just trying to stay as limber as I can, strum, keep my wrist moving on a guitar. Can't really hold a pick yet, but I will. I'm not that worried about it. Look, there are people playing. There's a pick on their elbow when they're playing guitar like this, and well. So if I can't do it with half a thumb and 3 fingers, there's something wrong with me. So eventually I'll be okay.
Yep. Let's see here. I saw who asked. Scroll up. There we go. Magic Man asked, are they still making new Klons? Recently, as of last year, I did hear that, I can't remember the gentleman's name who makes the Klon. He was making a few here and there.
Yes, he makes them. They're red boxes now. What the hell are they called? They're the KTR.
Okay.
It's called the KTR. He still makes the KTR.
Right.
There's a waiting list, and now the KTRs are over $1,000.
Right.
They're like, you can get them from $1,000 to $1,500, and the KTR sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's a smaller pedal than the old Klon. It's exactly the same innards. It sounds exactly the same. They are very cool.
Terry had a question. He says that he must say he's curious about the return of Maestro brand. Looks so far to be the pedals, but wonder if amps will come out too. Well, Gibson owns Maestro and Gibson owns Mesa Boogie, so wouldn't be that hard to do. Bill Finnegan, thank you, Ben Tom.
That's right. Keith Campbell says I'm going to go Tony Iommi. He had thimbles on his right hand because he's a lefty player, so his fretting hand had the thimbles on him, or has the thimbles on him. I don't need that hand to have that stuff. I need stuff from my picking hand, and I also need to be able to feel the pick. So thimbles are not going to work for me.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there was another question here. Keith says, do I keep hanging them on interior walls? Please say yes. Yeah, of course I do. That's where they are. That's where my little guitars live. And they do fine. You got to realize guitars hang in guitar shops on hooks, and there's no problems with them.
Yep.
My friend David at Wellsprung Guitars has all of his vintage guitars hanging on hooks in his showroom. Hundreds of thousands of dollars hanging on hooks. If he can do that with his guitars, I can do it with these guitars. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about taking a screwdriver, taking the truss rod cover off, doing a neck adjustment, putting the truss rod cover back on, having it fine if it needs to be. Most of these guitars don't need it, but sometimes they do.
Excuse me.
Bozy says, Dave, grow your fingernails out on your picking hand and play fingerstyle. I use my elongated nail and index fingernail only to collect picks for fun. You know, I would do that if I didn't bite my fingernails. I've been biting my nails for years and I can't seem to stop. I've tried everything. It's like some people smoke and can't stop smoking. Unfortunately, I can't stop biting my nails. It's a nervous habit. I can't stop. Don't know what to do. If anyone has any ideas, let me know, because I would like to have nicer looking fingernails and be able to grow some out so I can do fingerstyle. But it's unfortunate.
That I'm not too sure on.
Mm-hmm. House of 20 says the stand rash get bad with lacquer. Honestly, I don't really care because I play my guitars. They're going to get beat up. I do baby them to an extent, but
that's what I thought.
I'm not putting my. I'm sorry.
Oh, we got a report in from our favorite Swiss in the whole world, BV. Salut, BV. He's lurking. He wanted to let us know that Bill Finnegan does, in fact, still make a clone or two a year, not the KTR version, which he puts up for auction on his own eBay shop, and some of the money goes to help a family friend with hospital bills.
Very good. That's cool.
Yeah. And let's be honest, leaking out one or two more into the world every year does not affect the price.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the update, BB.
Yeah, that's very nice. Thank you. And thanks for watching, BB.
Mm-hmm.
No, we all know how busy that guy is. Holy crap.
Yep. And it's even later in Switzerland. It's, 3:09 a.m. Do you think the HP 2 is worth $2,500? I thought they were once about $1,700.
They were, and I don't like them. I just don't care for the guitar. I don't like the version of Floyd Rose they're using. It doesn't feel like the old PV Wolfgang. I don't care what anyone says. Some people say, oh, they're the old parts. They're not anymore. They're all new.
No, they would have gotten rid of all those by now.
And they don't feel the same. I'm sorry. They just don't feel the same. Again, they're beautiful looking, though. Absolutely gorgeous looking. The colors are great. The tops are really nice. Just not my bag.
Yeah. Yeah, and expect to see pretty big price jumps across the board on all guitars this year.
Oh yeah, I mean wood, especially because of any nice wood. Wood alone is getting more expensive by the day.
Exactly.
So, it's forget it.
Bride the Sign guy says something about bird's eye maple neck I like. that's the case and you want affordable, look at the Music Man Access. Similar body. They got as much bird's eye as you want.
$3,000 now.
Yep.
All these guitars are just going up and up and up and up in price.
Mm-hmm.
Just, better buy while you can before they go even higher. And you may be right, Keith. Gas prices are setting the price.
Yeah, because everything, it's transportation fees that are going up across the board. That affects basically every industry. And I agree on that because I do see a lot. I hear a lot of that.
Bozique says the HP2 still feel and sound like good quality guitars, even if they are different than the original PV Wolfgangs. That's the question.
Yeah, do they? I don't. I've never. Wait. I have played a PV Wolfgang. I have played an HP2, and they didn't feel the same to me. But then again, that was 6 months apart. I played them, so.
Look, as we all know, I'm a huge Eddie fan. And I do like the guitars, even though I don't have any more left. I don't play them because they're just too small for me. But the HP2 just doesn't do it for me. I've tried to like them. When they first came out, I was going to order two of them. I was going to order the Ocean Blue and a Tiger Eye. I played them, and I didn't like them. I didn't like that every one that I've ever played, and I know this is really only has to do with the weather, but every one of them that I played, the fret sprouting was terrible. Was absolutely terrible out of the box. Now, granted, I understand they probably left the factory perfect, and in transit that happened. But that leaves a bad taste in my mouth to begin with. I know I can fix it. It's not something I want to do when I first buy a brand spanking new guitar.
Mm-hmm.
I do not want to do that repair. I can do it myself, but it's a pain in the ass. And you don't want to do that when you just paid $2,000 for a guitar.
Yep.
Charlie, yes, I did. They weren't actually on order. That I was going to buy them. I told Joe Suma originally that I wanted them. He really never got them in time. And my Jones ended. And then when he got them, I had gone up there and played one, and I was like, nah, I don't like it. So.
Magic Man's addicted to carve tops.
Yeah.
Like,
there you go. There's one right here.
Thanks.
But something I didn't know that maybe I can learn you people is, say this guitar was an original 59 or any 58, 57, 50, even 52 through 1960 Les Paul. Those were all carved tops. They were hand carved. Nowadays, they're steamed to look like this. They're not actually carved by hand. They're steamed to have arch tops. Every one of them. And that's why if you look at a vintage Les Paul, the dishes all look different.
Yep.
Nowadays, they all look exactly the same because it's done under a steamer.
Some are more pronounced than others.
They're just all exactly alike. What they did probably was they picked a really nice dish from a vintage one that they probably had or probably got their hands on, and made this steamer machine to make every top the same as that particular one. Because in 58 or 59, you could tell some dishes weren't as pronounced, some were flatter, some were taller.
Yep.
And that's what also determined your neck angle on your Les Paul.
Right.
Now everything is the same.
That's true. And so, exactly, Tom. Some were made midweek and some were made hungover on a Monday morning.
That's right. You basically want a Wednesday guitar.
Yeah. And how are you liking that access, Bozique? I'm curious. The Sterling, I should say. I haven't played as many of the Sterlings, and I love my access. Absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite guitars.
Terry, can you get rid of that guy for me with the stupid, what is that, VYN.FYI?
Oh, yeah.
Don't even know what that means.
I think they're trying to do some Russian website or something. I don't know. Yeah. They keep throwing it in everybody's chat. I swear I block them in every chat I moderate.
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, now they actually call it the NESDALL Music Man Access, I think, the full name now, or back to that. Someone on the Sweetwater website the other day.
You know, I like the guitar. I mean, they're very beautiful. The version of the Godot Trem, the long trem they're using, it's a good bridge, but I don't like what they did to the tremolo arm itself and the arm assembly. I don't like that it's a screw into the body because, you know, like an old Fender, it could snap off. And they made the arm thinner. I don't like it. It's not as thick as the older ones, you know, and certainly not as thick as the old EVHs. And they just don't feel good in your arm, in your hand. I don't know why they started making them differently, but they do.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of screw-in trums, too, because you're at the mercy of where they started those threads as to, because I like it to kind of lock into place. I don't want to move them back and forth. And where those threads stop, that's where it is, you know, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of finagle it to do what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
But it's not an exact thing.
I ran the threads up on my trem bar because I have a tap and die set. So because it was not quite, like, it was almost exactly parallel. So when the arm bent up, it was almost covering the strings. I'm like, I just wanted another 1/8 of an inch. So I just worked it a little extra and took care of it.
Mm-hmm. The Song Guy, yes, they still make the Music Man Access. Papa Blue says in '83 he bought his Gibson Les Paul Custom Pearl White for $1,000 new, and he still has it. That's cool.
Wow, nice.
That's cool. Yeah, I hope to have this guitar for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really digging it. Plus, it's black and gold. I mean, how cool does that look? That's just right there. Even though I'm not a cool looking dude, that guitar on me makes me that much cooler.
Well, of course. Guitar Man 45's bought his first Gibson Les Paul Custom in '76 for $585. Wine red. Still has it.
Cool. Christopher Stowe says, why was Uncle Ted Nugent the only guy able to play his Birdland and make that tone in the rock world? Because he's Ted Nugent. Now, What he does is he stuffs the F-holes with foam. Yeah,
because he was crank up Fender amps very loud to get that tone.
And now he plays through 5150 amps. So he's got foam in the F-holes, and it stops it from howling.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly it. Well, we're getting almost to the bottom of the hour, folks. So if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, definitely get them in now. This has been a great show thus far.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's great to be back. 2022, first week in 2022. My God, the year is just rolling along. We have 40 right now. Please leave a thumbs up if you haven't already done it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the bell.
Yep.
Let us know that you're new in the comments below. and I'll make it my business to send you some of my Guitar Town Hall David NESDALL picks,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe I'll even throw in one or two of these old Nez Says picks.
Why not? Collector's items.
I'm happy to do so. I'll get in touch with you. We'll figure it out, and I'll get them out to you. But please subscribe. I'll let you know. Ben and I will let you know when we're doing shows. You'll see the notifications. You'll see all of our special reports. I'm going to start to do the Guitar of the Week again in the next few weeks.
Nice.
Over at Strong Guitars. They're just revamping.
We got another update from BV. If you are in the market for a Klon, one of the things buyer beware that comes with, he just wanted to point out that if the photo loads, I'll show it. Excuse me. But when you pick up a Klon, because of course there's PV's Klon, because BV has a Klon, you'll notice below you will get handwritten instructions from Bill Finnegan when you purchase a Klon. So that is something. So if you get printed off instructions with it, it may not be an original. So that's something to keep in mind. He also wanted to mention when being testing, because he uses his to test versus clones, the Decibelix run by his friend Guillem from Barcelona, both the mini and large are very close. So there we go. Mm-hmm. Thank you, BV, for that. That's a tip, because a lot of clones, everyone's, I got the box, I got all this. Are the instructions handwritten? I like that. I would never have known that. Thank you, Terry.
Dave and Tom. I don't know why he's not asking Ben, but he says Dave and Tom. But I'm thinking he's meaning Dave and Ben. Preferences on either the 112 or 212 cabs for the EVH LBX. Personally, I go 212 because they're light enough, they're small enough, they throw that much wider. I mean, I love 112 combos, don't get me wrong, but when I play through two of them. So it's like 212s.
And you can always stand them vertical if you want.
Yes, you can.
Good, Keith.
The 112 EVH cabinets are very, very small.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the size of the cabinets.
Yeah, if you were going to go 112, you might as well just go for a combo.
Brian Long says, fellas, Les Paul Tribute or Studio? I say save your money and get a standard or a traditional or a classic. It's not that much more money.
Those tributes, I will say, are nice. I was playing one recently, late 2019, so it's basically in the modern era. Very, very traditional sounding. I was quite impressed with it, but like they said, I'd save that a little more and maybe go for a classic. Although the classics have the zebra pickups, and if you're like me, I'm not a fan of zebra pickups. So
you can always change the pickups.
That you can do.
But it's in my book, if the neck doesn't have binding on it, if it doesn't have trapezoid inlays, it ain't a Les Paul.
Right.
It's a Les Paul.
I think the tribute had the inlays, but it did not have any binding. And it had maple neck, which was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm old school. It's got to be.
It did feel different, I will say. The maple neck. It was, even though they're both finished.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. You can feel the grain.
Just got to be a mahogany neck with either a rosewood or an ebony fretboard for me.
Yeah, I will say that the maple neck, and it was a little weird seeing the back of it too when it's two different colors, because they're both stained, but there wasn't stained dark enough on the neck to be the same. So, yeah, the tribute's a great mod platform, that's for sure.
Bozique, you and I are going to have this disagreement, and it's fine. I'm glad that we have this disagreement. You like inexpensive guitars, and that's fine. you're not into spending a lot of money. But if you're going to spend $1,000 on a guitar, why not save a couple $100 more and get a much better guitar?
Mhm.
That's all. I'm not saying you got to go custom shop. I'm saying save
The classics are nice.
3 or 4 more months, get a couple of $100 more, and buy a better guitar. That's all.
The Maple Neck's much more stable tuning-wise, Dan New Jersey mentions. It was a weird thing because, yeah, both of them, they don't use a ton of finish on the back of the neck, so it was a different feel. You get used to it, I'm sure, but it was different.
You know, I don't honestly know. And in New Jersey, I don't honestly know if the wood has much to do with stable tuning. I think it has to do more with how the nut is cut, how you string the guitars through the tuning pegs, and how you stretch them. Really don't think the neck has much to do with it, unless, of course, the neck is just so rubber band like that. You know, you get good solid necks, and sometimes they're really, they're like really thin trees that sway in the wind.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different story. But I don't think maple versus mahogany really makes much of a difference when it comes to stable tuning. That's just my take.
Yep. Well, we got various takes in the chat. Yeah, some necks, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Some are more stable than others, but yeah, I don't know. It's a combination of things. I don't know.
Well, Magic Man, I got to tell you, he disagrees with me, but I've got mahogany necks and I got maple necks, and both are super stable. Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, it's all good.
My guitars pretty much stay in tune all the time. There are a couple guitars I have that need to be tuned all the time, but well, both absolutely maple will sound different. Of course, maple and mahogany will sound different. I'm not saying that they don't sound different.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm doing is I'm saying that the tuning is going to be stable.
Yeah, and it's a little different. I thought I felt a little difference in the balance too with the maple neck versus mahogany too.
Could be.
Not a lot, just a little. Which is okay because Les Pauls are quite often tail heavy, or they should be. They're not as much anymore, but they should be tail heavy.
Matthew, man, I don't really live in a climate-controlled house. It's cold in this house right now. It's dry. When it gets to be really bad winter, I put a humidifier in here.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have climate control.
Yeah. Well. So to recap tonight, Dave's got my internet. I have his internet, so I'm clear and he isn't. Next week, we have Chris Locke and the guy who calls Chris Locke boss. What was his name again, Dave?
Donnie Ward.
Donnie Ward. There we are. Should know that.
I'll have photos of them up on Facebook this week, so you can see what they look like. I'll have reminders going on this week, and come back next Thursday and check it out.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great show. I'm looking forward to it.
So it's 9:30. I think we're gonna say goodnight right here.
Yeah, it's been a great time. Welcome back, everybody that returned. If you're here for the first time, again, please subscribe. We're here every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, Guitar Town Hall, where we have guests, we do Q&A, we talk gear, we talk music and gear, we talk gear and music. Yep. Hey, John Harden. Lurker. Thanks as always, Dave, for doing this.
It's my pleasure. It's our pleasure. Ben, it's great having you as a host with me. Everyone in the chat, again, I'm going to say thank you. Like I always say, thank you for joining us. Thank you for giving us your time. I know you could be doing anything in the world, but you spend this hour and a half with us, and we both really appreciate it. We will see you next week, and it'll be a fun show.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.